Hey folks, it's Ethan with Cultra. In this video, we will focus on Protozoa, a group of single-celled organisms that act as both predators and recyclers within the soil food web. We're going to explore the major types of Protozoa, how moisture controls their activity, how their grazing behavior drives nutrient cycling in the root zone, and finally, we will connect these microscopic processes with real outcomes, including improved nutrient availability, microbial balance, and overall soil health. By the end of this video, you will understand what Protozoa are, how they move and feed, and why their interactions with bacteria and fungi matter for soil fertility. Let's dive into it. So what exactly are Protozoa? Protozoa are single-celled organisms with a nucleus, making them eukaryotic. They are almost always heterotrophs, meaning they obtain energy by consuming other organisms rather than producing their own food. And in soil, their primary food source is bacteria, though some Protozoa consume fungi and other Protozoa. Protozoa range from about 5 to 500 micrometers. Their bacterial prey are usually 1 to 4 micrometers. That difference in scale is similar to a marble compared to a basketball. And because of this size gap, bacteria can hide in extremely small soil pores that Protozoa cannot physically enter. There are more than 60,000 protozoan species currently known today, all of which require moisture to remain active. Protozoa in soil are commonly grouped into 3 forms based off of how they move and feed. Amoeba, also called pseudopods, are the largest and most flexible in shape. They constantly change form by extending parts of their cell membrane called pseudopodia, or false feet. Some amoeba have a shell-like cover with defined openings, while others lack a shell and any predefined appendages. Amoeba do not have a mouth. Instead, they engulf bacteria by surrounding them and enclosing them in a vesicle filled with digestive enzymes. Nutrients are absorbed, waste products are expelled, and the amoeba gets to eat. Ciliates are smaller than amoeba and are covered with rows of hair-like structures called cilia. These cilia beat in coordinated patterns, allowing ciliates to move through water films and soil. As they move, the cilia create currents that sweep bacteria into the defined mouth region where they are ingested. The final Protozoa are flagellates. They are the smallest of the 3 groups, and they move using one of 2 whip-like structures called flagella. Their small size allows them to enter extremely fine soil pores, where bacteria are often abundant. Now, although Protozoa are predators, they also form important symbiotic relationships. In the guts of termites, flagellate Protozoa help digest woody plant fibers. These Protozoa benefit from bacteria that fix atmospheric nitrogen, creating a tightly linked nutrient exchange system. In sandy environments, more ciliates actively maintain bacterial populations around them, effectively farming their own bacterial colonies as a reliable food source. And these relationships are just a glimpse that show how Protozoa are not only consumers, but also managers of a microbial community. Now that we understand the 3 different types of Protozoa, let's dive into how they drive the microbial cycle. Protozoa are strongly attracted to bacterial populations. On average, a single protozoan can consume up to 10,000 bacteria per day. And when bacterial populations increase, flagellates are typically the first protozoa to respond because they can access the smallest soil spaces. Ciliates then follow, moving through soil water films and consuming larger or more exposed bacteria. And then finally, amoeba arrive on scene, feeding on remaining bacteria and sometimes even on smaller protozoa. See, as these grazing pressures increase, bacterial populations decline. This causes protozoan populations to drop as food becomes limited. And with fewer predators, bacteria rebound, restarting this nutrient cycle. This repeating pattern stabilizes microbial communities and keeps nutrients moving through the soil. Now, not all bacteria are consumed. Many are protected within biofilms, that slimy structure that's difficult to penetrate and often lacks oxygen. In their search for food, some protozoa also attack nematodes or compete with them for bacterial resources, helping keep nematode populations in check as well. Protozoa depend on water to move, feed, and reproduce. They rely on hygroscopic water, the thin film that coats soil particles even when soil appears dry. And this microscopic water network allows Protozoa to travel through soil pores. When soil dries beyond this point, Protozoa become dormant by forming cysts. In this safe, protected state, they can survive for years. When moisture returns, Protozoa rapidly reactivate and resume feeding on bacterial populations. Now, Protozoa play a direct role in plant nutrition through nutrient cycling. When they consume bacteria and fungi, they excrete waste products rich in carbon, nitrogen, and other nutrients. These nutrients were previously immobilized inside microbial cells and are released in plant-available forms, primarily NH4+, ammonium. Now, because bacteria and fungi concentrate near plant root zones, the rhizosphere, Protozoa grazing is almost always concentrated there. This places nutrient release exactly where roots can access it most efficiently. By grazing on bacteria, protozoa also keep bacterial populations in a youthful, active growth phase. Actively growing bacteria decompose organic matter more rapidly, accelerating nutrient turnover within the soil. Now, protozoa may be microscopic, but their impact on soil function is substantial. By regulating microbial populations, recycling nutrients, influencing nematodes, and supporting plant roots, protozoa serve as a critical link in the soil food web. Understanding their role helps explain why biologically active soils are more resilient, more productive, and more efficient at delivering nutrients to crops. My name is Ethan Polliner, one of the co-founders of Cultra, a nutrient diagnostic platform for agronomists. If you're interested in learning more about the biology in your soils, check out our other videos on YouTube and give us a follow on LinkedIn. Thanks so much.